Yeah, I'm going to talk about a quick, very easy principle that I learned off Charlie Morgan and Sam Ovens and thought leaders of this kind of space. Now, it's about how your beliefs create your actions create your results, and your results dictate your experience, your reality. So, we have to be able to intercept this flywheel at some point. So, usually, what you would do is you would change your core belief system. So, what a lot of people think, and what's not true, is they think, okay, let me change the actions that I'm taking. Let me just start doing different actions. But yes, it does lead to different results, but usually it all starts in your beliefs. Because if you believe that you can go out and get something, then obviously you'll take the action to then go take that, and then which will lead to the result of that. The only thing you see, like even if you ask your family, friends, anyone there, that is kind of where you don't want to be, right? You ask them, what's your belief around this? What's your belief around working a 9 to 5 job? What's your belief around starting a business? What's your belief about investing? Usually they'll tell you very shitty beliefs which lead to their results, their life. That's all it is. That is life. That is life extended over thousands and thousands of just small little flywheels. So you imagine it's just a small little flywheel that feeds into itself. It's that times everything. And you have this flywheel for every type of thing in your life. So imagine I'm fiddling with cologne here, but you have a belief around this, which leads to the action of spraying it on yourself, which leads to the result of you smelling nice. Now, if your belief was that cologne smelled like shit, well then in turn you would smell like shit. Or if you believed that showering was bad for you and then it would ruin your skin microbiome, and showers are horrible, then you would stop showering. From that point, the result would be that you smell like you're not sanitized, you are just gross all the time, which would lead to the experience of people thinking you smell like shit. But all this starts from the belief. I know that's a weird example, but I like to use extremes so then you can kind of understand where I'm coming from with this. So it's the same thing across entrepreneurship, it's the same thing across business. If you believe that business is good and business will lead you to where you need to be in life, well, then you will take the actions required to start that business, to do that thing, to outreach to clients, which will lead to the result of getting money from the clients, starting the business, getting more clients, growing, which will lead to the experience of whatever your desired state is, right? So you got to realize that these are just extrapolated across your whole life. You have them for everything down to beans. I think I got given the example of beans one time where you believe that you like beans, therefore you take the action of eating beans, therefore the result is you eat beans all the time. And the same thing goes around bad food, good food. If you believe or that if you believe that McDonald's is really healthy for you and you need to eat it every meal, then okay, no problem. Your actions will be that, and then the result of that will be your fat. So you need to change your kind of beliefs and thoughts around everything in life that you want to change. You need to almost get confirmation bias on what you want to happen. So let's say that you think eating McDonald's is good. Well, then you need to consume every bit of content around McDonald's being bad for you. You know what I mean? To kind of dictate a different state and then make, obviously, it does take a certain amount of willpower as well, but you want to change your belief system at its core to believe something else. Therefore, you get different results. Now, it's the same thing around client acquisition. It's the same thing around email outreach. It's the same thing around all these verticals in life. You have to be really looking and intercepting what your belief system is in order for it to change. There's even belief systems around money. You know what I mean? Let's say your belief is that, oh my God, $20,000 is a lot of money, da da da. Well, then you will kind of like, it's almost like the Pomodoro technique where work will a lot like work will fill the time span you assign to it. It's almost the same with like money and all these kind of things. If you believe that money's like 20,000, 10,000 is a lot of money, well then your body will, your mind and everything will drag out that process until you hit that point over like a longer period of time. It won't hit it instantly. But if you believe that 200,000 is a lot of money, or 100,000 or a million's a lot of money, then you'll kind of, it'll accelerate that cycle. But you have to genuinely believe that, say, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 a month is not a lot of money, or is a lot of money, depending on what you're trying to do, right? In order for it to change your reality, change your perceptions, change your actions that you take. Because obviously, if your belief is that 100,000 a month is not a lot of money, then you will be doing a lot in that period to change kind of change. Well, no, you'll just like if you say, let's say your thing's 100,000 a month, you'll do a lot of actions in the time allotted to it in that month. You'll focus a lot of your time on client acquisition. You won't focus a lot on fluff work because you constantly feel this pressure of being behind. It's almost like you're starving in a sense, right? You'll just never stop working until you're at that comfortable base. And once your body hits that comfortable base, you'll float around that, or you hang around that level until you then change and realize that, okay, 200,000 is now not a lot of money for you. And you change your baseline and you kind of progress in that sense. I think Charlie Morgan even gave the example of every time he hit $20,000 in his bank account, he would spend, and then when it hit $10,000, he'd be like, "Oh shit, I'm poor." Then he'd work. Then he'd hit 20,000 again, and then he'd spend. And so it was like this cycle of, because his base was, okay, I'm poor if I'm at 10, I'm rich if I'm at 20. And so every time he hit 20, he was like, "Oh, I'm rich, I have so much money, but spend." And then he'd go back down to his base, which was poor, and then he'd work, spend. He said, like, it was like a lock was on his bank account. He couldn't spend any more money, not even a dollar would leave. And for me, how I kind of reprogram my mind in a sense is I got up the flywheel and I just put in blank areas. So I put in like a blank box at the top, arrow to the next one, beliefs, blank, but blank, blank. And then I would just input my belief system for that. So I'd put in, say, money. My belief is that 50,000 a month is a lot of money, and 10,000 a month is not a lot of money, or whatever it may be. And then the kind of actions that I'm taking in that, and then the current results that my belief is currently bringing me. And then you do one for what your current base is, and then you do for what you want your base to be. And then you look at this stuff every day so you can realize, okay, this is my current base, this is where I need to be. And then you figure out the actions you need to take in order to align with that new flywheel. So I know it's a little bit hard to probably comprehend based on like a video where I'm not showing you examples, but there's many videos out there on like thoughts, beliefs, actions, flywheel, results, flywheel. So definitely just do your research into it. But I thought I would just shoot out a quick video based on this. I think it's helped me a lot, and I'm kind of just diving back into it now, looking through my daily plan, my life builder kind of PDF that I go through. So it's like, that's one section of my PDF that I have. So I've got probably a 15-page PDF that I go through most days of where I am now, where I want to be, and then the difference between those two. So that's one of the sections that I thought I would cover. Now I can show you my whole workbook and how I do all that. So if you guys want to see that, just let me know, and I can break that down in further detail.